Unit 11, New Business. Recording 11.1.
The economy is stable following the problems of the past 2 years. By following a tight monetary policy, the government has reduced the inflation rate to 2%. After going up dramatically, the interest rate is now down to 8%. The last 6 months has seen a slight improvement in the exchange rate against the dollar. The GDP has grown by 0.15%. Exports are increasing, and the balance of trade is starting to look much healthier. The unemployment rate continues to be a problem as it is still 16%. In order to stimulate the economy and attract foreign investment, the government is offering new tax incentives as well as making a renewed effort to reduce government bureaucracy. Finally, a large skilled labour force means there could be attractive investment opportunities over the next 5 years.
Recording 11.2.
What are some of the problems facing new businesses in your experience?
I think some of the problems facing new businesses are really to do with management skills. Often a new business is formed out of somebody who has a really good idea, has a really good hobby, has a really good knowledge of a certain thing, such as anything from biology to carpentry, and they form a business out of that core knowledge. The problem is they don't have enough business knowledge to go around that, so enough knowledge of finance and bookkeeping, of marketing, of human issues, HR issues for want of a better word, or of the fact that these need to be in a small business integrated. So it really is a lack of business and management skills that I find is the real main problem with 90% of the new businesses that I work with.
Recording 11.3.
I think this is a very big problem, particularly in the UK. There are so many different agencies that say they help small businesses to get advice. It's very patchy in some areas of the UK. They're very good. In other areas, they're very poor. And it's difficult for a lot of people starting a business or small businesses who have been in operation for a while to access them. So lawyers help small businesses, accountants help small businesses, banks say they help small businesses. Increasingly, universities help small businesses. And then you have a myriad of independent consultants who want to sell their services to small businesses. So there is a lot of help out there. The trouble is it's a very fragmented and complicated picture. And we often find that people running small businesses are so confused they don't bother. And that's a problem because they need to bother.
Recording 11.4.
Can you give us an example of a successful new business and why you think it succeeded?
We work with a company called MEPC, which owns business parks. They own a very big business park near here, down the A34, called Milton Park. And the MD of that park came to me, and one of the big businesses on the park was downsizing. And that they had some very bright young electrical engineers who were thinking of going to Wales, where there is money available for the development of new businesses through the Welsh Development Agency. And he thought he didn't want to lose them. He thought that they could build a business on the park and therefore retain the business and grow a business which would be good for the park. He asked me to talk to them. They had a very good product. They had a product which allowed for engines to be converted to using vegetable oil. So we helped them to develop their business planning. To some extent, they were in the right place at the right time. They had the right product from an environmental perspective. They had the right product from the point of view of oil prices going up. But what they didn't have was any business skill. And so we spent 2 years with them building their business skills, looking at their marketing, their sales, their financials, their structure issues of how they would build a company. And that was hugely important. So whilst they were in the right place at the right time. Whilst they did have the right technology product, they recognised that they didn't have business skills. And that recognition, I am sure, allowed them to grow properly. This year they will turn over between £750,000 and £1 million, which is very good in 2 years. And they are now forward planning their business on a proper business footing. So I think the reason that they have succeeded is they recognise what they didn't know and have built upon it, which is the need for good business skills.
Recording 11.5.
I usually get to work before my boss arrives. And as soon as I arrive, I check my email and post. I usually try to answer all important inquiries before I go to lunch. While I'm having lunch, I often discuss problems with colleagues. When I work long hours, I can take time off another day. I have a lot of flexibility over when I arrive at the office and when I leave, depending on the daily workload.
Recording 11.6. 1. A.
47,
B.
362,
C.
1,841,
D.
15,000,
E.
36,503,
F.
684,321,
G.
4,537,295,
2. A.
3.5,
B.
2.89,
C.
9.875,
3. A.
3/4,
B.
1/8,
C.
6/7,
D.
a half,
E.
2/3,
4. A.
15%,
B.
50%,
C.
97%,
D.
100%,
5. A.
£80,
B.
$5,800,
C.
150,000 euros,
D.
20,000 euros.
Recording 11.7. 1.
And here is the business news. This month, inflation is up by 1.2%. The unemployment rate is now 5%, giving an overall figure of 1,258,000.
2.
Laser plc, the supermarket giant, reports that profits rose 12% to just over $1.8 billion, with sales increasing a healthy 18%.
3.
General Engineering said it would reduce its workforce by 1/3 over the next 5 years, resulting in the loss of 5,000 jobs.
4.
The central bank has reduced interest rates by 0.5%. Turning to the world economy, this will grow by 2.8% next year.